Her phone buzzed once. Then again. She flipped it face down on a lounge chair, but not before I caught the name. Just a single initial, a man's. Her eyes locked with mine, and something sharp tightened in her jaw. Still, she answered, voice low, words slipping out in whispers I couldn't make out. Behind her, the ocean rolled like a painted stage, waves curling as if applauding on cue. None of it mattered. When she ended the call, there was no smile, no softness. She looked at me like one looks at an animal before putting it down. I love you, she said, but this is the last time you'll ever see me. She paused, long, deliberate. Then she handed me a small canvas bag. Her fingers lingered, as if pressing something invisible into my hands, a weight that suffocated. Don't scream, she whispered, and then she walked away. I didn't scream. I just watched the marks her feet left in the sand until the tide erased every trace of her. All that remained was the bag, clutched in my hand. Inside, a folded slip of paper, a key, and a ring I had never laid eyes on. My 10th anniversary gift. I sat there as the sun burned down to a thin red line over the horizon. My hands unfolded the paper. A hotel booking, 2 names, hers and his. The date was today, tonight. For a fleeting moment, I lied to myself, told myself it was someone else, another woman with her name. But on the back, in her unmistakable handwriting, the illusion died. Don't follow. Don't call. I'm sorry. I read it again. And again. Each time, it hollowed me deeper. 10 years. 10 years of midnight laughter, of fights that melted into forgiveness, of plans made and broken. 10 years of believing I hadn't been walking through life alone. But betrayal doesn't arrive with thunder. It seeps in. Quiet, patient, a poison. I folded the note, slid it back into the bag. I stared at the key, room 604. The ring was heavy, thick, engraved inside with letters I didn't know. Masculine. I wondered if it belonged to him, or if it was meant for her. My mind urged me to rage. But rage is loud, wasteful. I couldn't afford noise. I swallowed it whole and let silence sharpen into resolve. That night, I didn't return home. I checked into a hotel across town, 1 floor higher than hers. From my window, I could see her building glowing in the dark, close enough to watch but far enough to remain unseen. I didn't sleep. Instead, I dug. Phone records, old bills, passwords she thought I'd forgotten. Each search was a step deeper into a world she had hidden from me. Patterns surfaced. Nights she swore she was with friends. Hotel charges under vague names. Numbers that repeated in the dead of night. I mapped my memories against her lies. The timeline bent, cracked, collapsed. Each discovery was another stitch torn from the fabric of us. Yet outside, I remained calm. At dinner with colleagues the next evening, I smiled. I laughed. No one saw the storm raging beneath my skin. I contacted a private lab. A few strands from her hairbrush were enough. A test I never imagined I would order. Paternity. Because once doubt takes root, it grows wild. The results would take a week. A week of pretending nothing was wrong. A week of studying her like one studies an enemy, dissecting gestures, tones, silences. Every kiss, every touch in those days felt like theater, a performance she gave with conviction, though the play was already over. And I acted alongside her, patient, deliberate, waiting for undeniable truth. When the envelope arrived, it didn't whisper, it cut, unmarked, plain. Inside, the report. Cold, clinical, final. Probability of paternity, 0%. 10 years. A child that wasn't mine. I folded the paper with care, as though gentleness could make it less real. My hands didn't shake. My pulse didn't climb. The storm inside me had gone still. That night, I placed the envelope on the kitchen counter. She came home late, hair damp, perfume clinging. She smiled too easily. I said nothing. She found the envelope, opened it. Read. Her face collapsed. No, it's not. Her words broke apart before they could finish. I waited, silent, composed. She dropped into a chair, clutching at her chest like the truth had pierced her. Tears blur her eyes. I can But I didn't want explanations, only confirmation, and her silence gave me that. I slid the canvas bag across the table, the same one she handed me on the beach. Inside, the ring, the hotel key, her note, and now the test. Every piece of her betrayal neatly returned. "This is yours," I said, my voice steady, stripped of heat. She stared at it as though it were a coffin. Her hands trembled. "Please don't." I stood, took my coat, and left her there with the weight she had tried to place on me. That was a revenge. Not screaming, not striking, but leaving her alone with the wreckage of her lies, exposed in the silence of our no longer shared home. Her sobs followed me to the door. They did not move me. I never went back. In the days that followed, I told no one. I owed no explanations. Silence was my power. She called. She wrote. Messages dripping with apology, bleeding with guilt. I didn't answer. What was left to say? 10 years had turned to ashes. But from ashes comes clarity. For the first time, I saw myself clearly, not a victim. A man who chose to walk away before her lies consumed him whole. Betrayal doesn't kill you. It remakes you. And when I finally powered off my phone, severing the last tie between us, I felt nothing. Not anger. Not grief. Only this. I was free.